Happy holidays, everybody. Okay, so I'm here to give you your real estate market update for the month of December for Portland, Oregon, and the surrounding areas. Hey, Lily Weiss with Keller Williams Realty here. Honestly, right off the bat, I'll say I've tried this already 5 times. And as I said in my Instagram stories, I was almost planning to do this next week and not this week because I'm already kind of in that holiday mindset. But I want to get this information out to you because a lot of you have said to me that you're just rearing to go and make a move in 2022. So I might fumble a few times, but honestly, at this point, we're just going to get through it because there's a lot of good info here. But if I stumble, we're not going to stop it anymore. We're just going to keep going through. And I hope you see the humanization in that and just follow along with me. So yeah, first of all, I do want to cover a topic before we go into the numbers that I think is a side topic, but highly relevant to what's happening right now, which is if you are looking at the news at all, if you're, following the real estate market, or if you're curious because you're making a move, you'll see all these headlines from newsmakers that are saying a huge wave of foreclosures is on the way, or, the real estate market is in a big bubble and it's about to burst. And again, we always say as realtors, we don't have a crystal ball, but I will tell you, as we talk about this topic, it's really hard not to bring up 2008. Whenever we talk about foreclosures, 2008 is something that you kind of want to bring up and maybe tell people why it's so different. We have talked about this before on our videos, but if you're new here or if you need a refresher, this is what we're going to talk about here quickly. If you want to just get straight to the numbers, feel free to skip this about 4 minutes. I'm sure it'll be. But basically, when you look at 2008 into what's happening right now, the biggest difference at the moment is in 2008, why we had a huge financial crisis was actually greatly due to the housing market and specifically the mortgage industry and the predatory loan practices that were used at that time. It's why if you are a home buyer, it's frustrating how much, documentation you have to give them and all of that stuff. It's really for your protection. And because the government put in place all these regulations for them to be hey, you really can't be doing this anymore. We need to make sure someone can actually afford this house. Side note, but in our current financial crisis we are in, the effects to the housing market were more a symptom than a cause. It really had nothing to do with the housing market of why we fell into a financial crisis. The government actually really has been putting a lot of protections in place and using the housing market as a way to keep the economy going. So what's mainly made this notably different is, as I said, they have put a lot of protections in place to keep people in their homes, trying to keep people in their homes. Obviously, there's some other crises happening. I'm not going to say, that's not existing as well. But they did try and put in place, eviction moratoriums for a while, and they had a mortgage moratorium, which is the topic for today, in place that is ending December 31st. So that is why you're seeing a lot of news about foreclosures and loan forbearance ending, saying that, maybe this is going to lead to a big wave in foreclosures. Where we see that maybe not happening, you might see a little bump in foreclosures, is with the moratorium, we actually don't know how many people were experiencing financial hardship and how many people actually were just using it to their advantage, saying, hey, I'm not going to pay my mortgage payments because I'd rather invest this money into my family, pay some extra bills, pay off some debt, or invest my money elsewhere. And yes, there were some other people who were facing serious financial hardship, and being able to use this program in order to avoid paying their mortgage payments was extremely helpful. But for a lot of people in that scenario, they have either come out of the forbearance program already, in the last few months or the last year or so, and have begun paying their mortgage payments again. Or like some clients I've had, they were in a place where they were able to go, hey, I actually don't want to pay my mortgage anymore, but it's such a hot market that I'm going to go and sell my house, either completely taking care of my loan or even giving me a profit. So before they would even go into foreclosure, they were able to sell their house for a profit, which is also something that's very different from 2008, if you know that market at all. With all of that, that's again what I'll say is with this situation, totally, I don't have a crystal ball. We could see this just massive, boom in foreclosures of the market when people no longer have that forbearance, but it's probably not likely to the reasons I just brought up. So if you have any more questions on that, I'm happy to chat with you, but let's go into the actual numbers. Ooh, it is right about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I was right. So into the actual meat of it in the numbers. So as we know, in this market right now, we did see a decrease in home sales. I actually forgot to tape up. I have numbers that I usually put up to tell you the exact numbers. I'll do that in another video because I don't want to start this over again. It's totally the holiday mind, but I'll let you know just the important realities of these, and then you can get that information from me elsewhere, either on this email update, Instagram, what have you. Okay, cool. So for new listings to the market, we did see a slight decrease, which actually is, fairly normal. We've talked about it before if you're following along with these videos, that in the holidays, you start to see a decrease of new homes to the market. People are just have put their attention elsewhere. So that's fairly normal, which then also we did see though a increase in both pending sales and sold homes looking year to year, which, shows that buyers are very set on still finding houses. Like even I found that anecdotally in my business that a lot of buyers I am working with are currently just out there like still trying to find that house, which is a really good thing to hear if you're a home seller, someone that's thinking about selling, thinking should I wait a little bit longer, wait till the spring? People want your house, so good to know. But what that also shows is, unfortunately, if you're a home buyer, I've been telling you for months now, like we should see the inventory increasing, with the caveat I did say it might, stall a little bit during the holidays, so that's still okay. We did see inventory if homes go down to 0.8 months. So if you're a home buyer and you're like just excited to see it steadily increase, as we did kind of see in the beginning of the fall, unfortunately, it did take another hit down from 0.9 to 0.8. Those are like two of the numbers I do remember. And then, same thing goes for, this is kind of, more exciting probably news for if you are a future home seller to hear. We did see average sales price continue to steadily rise. I believe another number I did remember, because I have to, say this one all the time, is average home price right now, I want to say is 571,000, around that is where we're at, just a little bit up from the month prior. So it does really show we are still seeing prices steadily rise. So if you are a home buyer, you want to keep that in mind and see, time is of the essence to some degree. I never want you to make your decisions based off fear tactics. So no, I will tell you too, a good thing for sellers to know is that we should see prices steady a little bit. We just saw such a massive increase and bump in home prices in the last year or two with, I think it was I saw statistics that in the state of Oregon, equity went up by 100K average or something just wild like that. So we did see these massive increases over the last year or two, just with there just being such low inventory and such a drive from home buyers. So that's great news if you are someone who's looking to sell, you'll still have that advantage and you should see it steadily still seem to increase, but it won't be that massive jump you had before. And, we talked about it before, if you're a home seller, I'm kind of diving back and forth, sorry. You will see, maybe less people being super intense with their offers for your home, things like that, very depending on the price range your home fits in and where you are as well. So we can talk on the side about that if you would like to talk about selling your house in 2022. If you're a home buyer, yeah, that goes the same, we'll pay attention to the market. I will say home prices are going to steadily increase. And you also want to keep in mind that interest rates are also going to steadily increase. Presumably, I've heard kind of mixed reviews that in 2022, it either could bump up higher, significantly higher. But from what I've heard, I believe recently was it shouldn't go above 4%, which I know can sound hard when we've seen 2%. Around 2% earlier in the pandemic for interest rates, but historically that's still extremely low. We just want to keep an eye on it, and that's why I always say if you're looking to buy a house, talk to a loan officer as early as possible. I think that's pretty much everything. Again, I'll put the actual numbers below this video so you have that. I'm sorry I didn't bring that to mind, but I'm just happy we got this out. I hope all of that made sense. I am going to go make some eggnog, do something like that, and get into the holiday spirit. But if you have any questions in the meantime, I will be checking my email and messages periodically. So yeah. Again, happy holidays. Hope you have a great holiday season for all of you that celebrate, or if not, and look forward to talking to you in the new year. Thanks. Bye.